mast and one guy just manufacturing all that stuff and putting it all together, bringing the old in with the new. And that's just a small example of what they've done to achieve, this massive project. So the final bill will be the final bill. But what I can tell you is on a project of this size and nature, for us to be within cooey of the last blimmin' cent is absolutely unheard of. And it's all down to the team, Stu threatening me, hanging, and our construction partners and designers.
I always knew you were a good operator. Oh, Curtis. But I mean,
It's been awesome because, and I was talking to some of the team there after we had the blessing, because a large number of the team came along with part of the blessing, which I thought was really nice. And those men and women have been going to that site every day, rain and hail, for the last 2 years. And then you could see for some of them, they're kind of like, it comes now. It's been a real highlight for them as part of their construction career, which is really cool.
Yeah. So there's definitely a sense of loss because you work with someone for 2 years and they become your family.
Yeah.
But this is the nature of project management and infrastructure builds, and we just got to move on.
But I will give credit where credit's due. I think the way you guys have managed the budgets and got there, because for a long time councils have all of a sudden had, run out of money, we'll come back later on, be a wastewater plant or whatever it may be, and all across the country. And it seemed to be a soft touch. And just after we'd signed that off, I actually was in the Curry Lounge with a guy from Naylor Lund talking about it. I said, well, you've got to hit this thing under budget. You're not getting any more money. And it's the same as when Tracy Bender's hard. But actually, when everyone plays that game, everyone has respect, understanding that this is it. And we have to play in this field. So I think, we might have had some challenging conversations, but I think to manage it the way it's been managed has been fantastic, because traditionally in the time that I've been sitting at the table, a lot of those things have come in and they've squeaked over by a bit, or the contingency really dragged the money out that wasn't there. And there's been many cases where it may have just been wrongly priced or whatever, but this case it's been bang on really. And to see the work in the facility, and a lot of people have done, and go back to when we started, but those conversations were had. And it also became tricky times. So we went through the process of our own renewals getting divested in other parts of the community and turned the communities upside down. So no, it's been great.
I think to add to that, one of the things that the council said to us when we started building it was you wanted to be close to it as well. And so every month you've had this, and you've had updates, and you've seen photos and all of that kind of stuff, and you've heard some of the hard things that we've had to work through as well. So I think from our point, that's been helpful. And a lot of you have been quite engaged in coming on the tours and all of that kind of stuff and seeing the things operationally that we're dealing with as well. So I think we'll taken a lot of learnings from this and take it to the other projects that we'll take through as well. And with the luck, we'll only get better. So, yeah.
Well, it's untenable for us in an election cycle to actually start going over and over budgets and big ticket items like that. So it's really cool to just stay within the boundaries and the perimeters.
And this is CODC's largest capital project ever. Yeah. So it's a testament to the tech.
Oh, I totally agree. And, I know Tracy and I, you might think we've been joking, but it had to stay that way, because it's just untenable if we blow out on something that big. 10% is 4 million. That's 10% of our rates. So, admittedly, it's been great. It's been a good journey for everyone, really.
Yes, it has. And we are really proud of how you have brought the RSA on the journey and included them to enable them to kind of shine in the success of it. And I know they're really pleased with especially the turnout and the facility provided for their services on Anzac Day. So well done. I'm very happy to move that the report be received. Curtis will second that. Those in favour? Again.
The older the news.
Thank you.
The older the news. I think Curtis, eh?
Donna, welcome Saskia.
These are one of the things that you
So I take this paper as being read. This report discusses the financials as at 28th of February 2026. So for the first 8 months of the financial year, the council had an operating unfavourable variance of 192,000, with an overall operating surplus of 7.5 million. So income has an unfavourable variance of 1.5 million. This is mainly leaning towards the financial contributions and development contributions, as well as our land sales, which are a little bit behind. Then we go into our expenditure, which has a favourable variance of 1.3 million. We have personnel costs, financial costs, other expenses, and cost of land sales being lower than budget. The depreciation is higher. This is just due to, and I've discussed this in previous reports, to the 30 June 2025 revaluations. And our personnel costs are lower predominantly in the planning and regulatory space. And as we know, recruitment is continuing to fill these vacancies. Capital expenditure has a favourable variance of 3 million, with 51% of the total revised budget being spent to date. All these projects are in different stages, and you have heard about the Cromwell Memorial Hall. Sorry, the Cromwell Memorial event.
Which report were you reading? Let's go back to the start of the day. Sorry, you got it wrong.
Time. Yes.
So we also are sitting at $85 million in debt, with the debt being uplifted from the Cromwell Memorial Hall and the Three Waters space. With our Southern Waters loan, it's sitting at February about 681,000 and is nudging towards 900,000 in March. There has been, as far as I'm aware, no change to the agreed loan value. Any questions?
I got one on the development financial contributions behind. Why have we not collected that?
So it depends on where the developers are at their resource consent processes. I am aware that there are quite a few developments in the process, but I don't think they're quite at that point where they're ready to.
Because they've lodged their values in there, but yet it hasn't been picked up because the development hasn't started.
Yeah, so they've got to reach 224C certification for the development contributions. Yeah, generally they're received before that certificate is going.
And depreciation of the revaluation, we'll never catch that up, though, will we?
No, we won't, but we have included in the budget, you know, our funding stream from the funded side. So it's not huge, but it could over time.
Thank you.
Questions? That the report be received. Thank you, Andrew. Seconded. Thank you, Carol. For those in favour. Against. Carried. Thank you very much, team. Now we go to what page do you reckon it's going to be? 491.
We appreciate the events, didn't we? Yeah, well,
So from page 492, my news report, I'll just gloss over a couple of things because I know you'll have all read it with great detail. Regional deal work continues. We are in discussions with that at the moment. It is coming thick and fast as we work through trying to get something over the line with the Crown and our partner councils. Southern Waters is ticking along, and we have the first meeting of the stakeholders engagement group, represented group, and Thursday morning, and we will select a chair there to chair that group. And then we've had some really standout community events, including the Golden Fleece exhibition in Omako at WS Hickey and Son, which was really well attended. It was a big crowd there. Bounty Castle was a hit, as was the treasure hunt inside a big thing of wool. My daughter's hands were repulsive when she got out there. Really nice and soft, but I Caitlin was horrified when she saw her pick up some lollies and put them in her mouth with those hands and then share more of the lollies. But yeah, it was a great day. And so was the NZMCA rally in Cromwell back at the March, which had over 600 people at the Racecourse Reserve in Cromwell. Most of them retire age, but not all of them. Huge amount of value in motorhomes, walking up and down some of those. There were some people there in $500,000 motorhomes, which was astronomical. We've come a long way from the old camper van. And we've got, I had some great stakeholder meetings over the last few weeks, including with Infrastructure New Zealand, who just couldn't believe what we were achieving here. They thought it was amazing, especially what's happening with the Te Puna Mahara in Cromwell and what the opportunities might be for Infrastructure New Zealand to host events there as well. So that's going to be really exciting for the team to start going out and encouraging facility or different events to come on through. And I will continue to email Taylor Swift at every opportunity. But in the meantime, we might find some Kiwi equivalent to, the cost of fuel getting here might be a barrier for her at the moment. Yeah. And I had a really nice catch up with Mayor John and his Deputy Mayor Quinton in Luggett the other week for lunch, which I think is really important as we go down this pathway of what does working together across Otago look like. Lots of it is just about building those relationships so that when something comes on our radar, we do have the ability to just pick up the phone and talk through things. Thank you all for your continued efforts every day. That is my report. I'm happy to move it. Tracy is happy to second it. Thank you. All those in favour? Right, against? Carried. Governance report. Moving up next. Has anybody got questions on any of those status reports?
Got one question. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the right page. I think it was 510. It says that leases have been issued cafe and for cinema in the new centre. We know who those are going to be. Is that public knowledge yet?
They've been issued, they haven't come back yet. So I hope it'll be public knowledge in the coming days.
Right, okay.
Imminent.
Just good to see the standards up there. Be really great to have that signed off. And I guess the question to QP would be when?
Yep, so
Sorry.
I've just briefed our infrastructure grand planner this week once they're finished with the LTP work and the project, and the development engineering manager and I sat down and we worked through where drafts at. It's probably genuinely about 90%. So what we're hoping to is starting to finish up writing up that draft to enable us to circulate it with some of the development community for some initial feedback and involving them following the land development meeting we held and them being interested in engaging with us through that. So the hope is with them and feedback so June, July is when the goal was to have that public consultation about that period. So we do have someone actively working on it now. We've just been struggling with staff to actually do it, but now we actually have someone that can support that and has the skills to do that. So we're boxing on. And that's with Three Waters utilising 2010/NEDS and this update to the addendum being reflective of all the other aspects of it.
Yes.
The Bannockburn Road Forestry, you've got two proposals. Question, who's the valuation panel?
Valuation panel on the tenders. Yeah. We have an external forestry. If you guys think is what I do, we use New Zealand forestry guy.
Yeah.
Then internal people, one specialist and three internals.
Right.
Not a being the signature. Yeah.
Questions? Yes, I'm happy to move that report be received. Thank you, Tracy. All those in favour? Aye, against, carried. Community Board and Committee minutes from page 527-ish. Somebody like to move those, please? Unless there's any concerns. Thank you, Curtis and Sarah. All those in favour? Aye, against, carried. The date of the next meeting will be the 27th of May, which will roll around just quick enough. And resolution to exclude the public is now on page 563. 563. For the reasons outlined below, the public recommendation that we exclude the public from the following items. Thank you, Sarah and Curtis. Those in favour? Against, carried. We got just do those confidential minutes from page 567. Is somebody happy to move the confidential minutes? Thank you, Sarah and Tracy. All those in favour?